What's up guys, Jeff Cavaliere, AthleanX.com. So as you watch this clip of me performing pull-ups, I want you to take note of one thing. I'm gonna perform a bunch of unbroken pull-ups here, and guess what? So can you. As a matter of fact, no matter how many pull-ups you're doing right now, I believe that every single one of us, no matter how big or how small or how strong or weak we might be right now, can do 15 unbroken pull-ups. Some can do even 20, and there's some that can do even 25 or more. That is, if you avoid the 6 big mistakes that I think most of us make when we perform the exercise. We actually place such a high value on this exercise that we make it part of our AthleanX Games competition. And as you can see here, we have a lot of people, different sizes, men and women, different levels of strength, that are just killing these pull-ups. They know how to do them because they're avoiding a lot of the mistakes. And I want to make sure that not just them, but you know exactly what they are so you can avoid them. So let's start diving into them one by one. Don't worry. Even if it's the last thing I do, I'll get that damn pull-up. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're setting up on the bar properly, because what a lot of us do is we get loose, and looseness on a pull-up will destroy your ability to do pull-ups no matter how strong you are. So when you grab this bar, a lot of us probably think when we hang from here of just basically pulling straight up. I want you to think of basically pulling yourself back just a little bit, because what that does is it engages the lats and kind of gets them fired up to be able to do the pulling from here. As opposed to when I'm straight down like this, I'm unpacking my shoulders and I create all this looseness in my shoulder blades. That's kind of tough to overcome when I'm trying to initiate that first pull. It's a lot of wasted energy. And not only that, but it's not presetting the lats, so it's making my arms have to do more of the initial pull here, which is gonna fatigue far faster than it will be if you just set the lats up correctly. All right, number 2, you gotta make sure that your elbows are in the right place. And here again, people don't do this because they don't pay attention to it. When I say get your elbows out of the cage, what I mean is what direction are your elbows pointing when you're standing directly under the bar or hanging directly from the bar. If you can't see my elbows when you're just to the side of me, it's because you've got them in line with your body, and that's a big mistake. Get them out of the cage. In other words, get them out in front. What that does is it puts the shoulder in the scapular plane, which is a healthier position for the shoulder and one you're going to be more optimally positioned to pull with more strength, but it puts the lats on a little bit more of a stretch, which will also pre-engage the lats as we talked about before, and it gets them in that proper position. So if my elbows are out front a little bit, it kind of sets up that first tip we already talked about more efficiently, and I can pull with a lot more strength because those elbows are where they should be and the shoulder feels a lot better because of it. Number 3, you gotta plug the energy leaks. So I talk about this all the time. The wasted movement is what causes these pull-ups to become a hell of a lot harder than they are. It's what makes you feel all 200 plus pounds if you are a big person trying to do these. It's what makes even the lighter people feel every single pound of their body weight. But when you can plug the energy leaks, it feels like you're as light as a feather. So what I'm talking about is when you get yourself rigid, not just by setting up the lats the way we talked about by pushing into the bar, that helps to stiffen up the scapula, but what about the rest of your body? Well, it's really easy to fix, and the first thing you want to do is not dangle your feet behind you or cross your knees and let them dangle behind you, because that creates looseness. What you might have saw when I was doing my pull-ups is I have my feet out in front of me, my legs together, my feet pointed, my knees straight, my quads tight, my glutes are squeezing, the lats are engaged the way I said they are, my core is tight. So what that does is it creates one efficient line of pull. Every bit of force I put down into this bar is gonna transfer right through to my upper body and back down to allow me to do these pull-ups a lot more effortlessly. I'm telling you, it's the most underrated aspect of getting better at pull-ups, and it's something you can do instantly. Stop being loose, contract every muscle in your lower body through your core. You'll feel tight and you'll fly up and down on this bar. The 4th thing I need you to fix is what you're doing with your hands. Not only do you want to put them at about shoulder width apart, sometimes people go too narrow, and by doing that, they shift all of the load to the muscles of the forearm to do most of the flexion. You don't want that. Get them at least at shoulder width apart, but it's the direction of force that matters so much. When I'm about ready to pull myself up, I don't just think about pulling straight down through the bar like that. I think about pulling in at the same time that I pull down. Because what that does is it engages some other adductors of your body. In other words, we know that the chest can adduct the arm into the side. The chest is good at adducting the arms towards midline or pulling in that direction. If we can adduct through the chest this way by squeezing our hands in and of course down, we've got both the chest and the lats working together to get me up. Again, that secondary function of the chest to help with adduction is gonna make this feel even lighter, and it's gonna keep some more of those energy leaks from creeping in. So when I'm here, I'm gonna pull in and down at the same time. So I'm squeezing in at the same time that I'm squeezing down. I'm not just pulling straight down like that, where if you do this and then let go of the inward squeeze, you'll instantly feel a lot heavier. Pull in and down at the same time. It's a real game changer. Mistake number 5 is having the wrong target point and not attacking the bar with that target. And what we're talking about is your sternum, and right at the top of your sternum. And what we do oftentimes is we collapse that down. All you're doing is increasing the distance between it and your attack point, which is the bar. What I want you to do instead is try to attack the bar first with your sternum by reaching for it with your chest. Stop trying to reach with your chin. Instead, reach with your chest. So this is what people do when they do it wrong. They start to cave in because they're trying so hard. Even if you follow the tip by step with your elbows out in front, they're trying so hard to get up that they're pulling their attack point further away from the bar. What I want you to do is lead with the attack point, because that will keep you back and tight. So when you're here, open it up, reach for the bar with your sternum. You don't have to hit it, because obviously your chin can get up and over the bar without having to touch. But by reaching that way, we're able to create a more effective attack plan with a closer and more direct line of attack that's going to get you to that bar faster with a lot more stability. Mistake number 6 is not treating the pull-up like any other weighted exercise that you do. In other words, you wouldn't just keep doing push-ups if you want to get stronger at the bench press. So why not add weight to your pull-ups rather than continue to just do more and more repetitions? One of the most effective ways we know to increase strength is through progressive overload. So at some point, strap some additional weight around your waist and start to do some repetitions this way. Because what this will do, I don't care how many you can do, it's going to teach you how to build more strength to be able to get up and perform these exercises. What you can do right from there is do as many as possible and simply drop right into a drop set with body weight and rep out. And what's maybe 3 reps will become 4, and what's 4 will become 5, and you'll continue to creep up and up in the amount of weight you can handle, which is just going to increase your overall pull-up strength. Look, I get it, guys. Pull-ups can be tough, but I have high assurance that 15 unbroken repetitions are in your future if you erase these mistakes and you start to train them appropriately. If you're looking for a step-by-step plan, I actually have our AX Champion. It's a bonus that's here for just 4 days only, depending upon when you watch this video. If it's gone by then, we also have our Pull-Up or Shut-Up program available at athleanx.com. Guys, I promise you'll find this helpful, and the number of unbroken reps you can do is gonna go up, up, and up, just like your body on this bar. If you haven't done so, guys, make sure you click subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video from us when we put one out. All right, guys, see you soon.